it is Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and I am here to do a book review over The Looking Glass Wars by... I actually do not have a physical copy of the book with me right now. I don't have a copy of it because me and Josh and Emma have moved back into my mom's house until the renovations at our new house are completed, because we don't want to keep throwing money into rent. So we decided to move into here. I don't have hardly any of my books. I just brought the books that I need to read, and the rest are in storage until we get into the new place. So yeah, I don't have this book with me because I had already completed it at this point. So, like I said, I am doing a book review over The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor, and it is the first book in the series. It was actually part of my Dusty Challenge this year, so I'm really glad that I was able to finish it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. This book is about a young girl named Alice Hart, and she is the heir to the throne of Wonderland. But it is not like the Wonderland that we know. The Mad Hatter is the royal guard, and the Cheshire Cat is an assassin, and there's just all kinds of crazy things that happen in Wonderland. One of the biggest being that your imagination is real. You can actually imagine things happening, and then they do happen, and Alice Hart has one of the strongest imaginations. Because of this, her Aunt Red, who has been banished for using bad imagination, comes on her 8th birthday to avenge herself and to take back over the throne that she believes is rightfully hers. And while all this is happening, Alice is able to flee through the Pool of Tears to the real world, where she meets Lewis Carroll, who puts an interesting spin on her story. Alice hopes that she can return to Wonderland before the situation is too dire and Red has taken over forever. I really like this story. Right when I started reading it, I was immediately drawn in. It has such an interesting story, and I love Alice in Wonderland, so seeing this weird take on it was really nice. But a little bit towards the middle, I actually stopped and put it on Goodreads. It was page 134 is where I actually took the time to stop and say that it was starting to get a little boring and I was worried. But right after I started talking about how it got boring, I think it got so boring because I was really interested to see what was happening in Wonderland, and when I couldn't see those things, I was just really eager to, and was just really impatient to get back to it. But eventually you do get back to it, and it does flash to Wonderland while you're in Alice's head in the real world. So it's really interesting to see that aspect, and I really enjoyed it once I knew that I was going to see Wonderland again. I think that this book is definitely more of a plot book than a character book. The characters are very unique, but I didn't feel that there was an intensely strong presence. I feel like the plot was really what dominated this book, just because it was so interesting and the characters just kind of helped it along. So now I'm going to get into the portion of the review where I do spoilers, so please do not continue watching if you don't want to be spoiled for The Looking Glass Wars. My favorite thing about this book was the use of imagination. I thought that since they could use imagination as a weapon, I've never heard of a story doing this before, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it added a very realistic thing to it, because Wonderland is just so crazy, and this kind of gives it reason as to why it can be so crazy, because people are just imagining things left and right. And another thing that I thought was really cool was the fact that people in Wonderland imagine things and then they send them into the real world, and that's how new inventions are made. I thought that was just this cute little tie to our real life, and I thought that that really helped the story for me. Since I don't have my book, I forget one of the characters' names, and it's one of the main characters, of course. But the boy that is the servant dude that loves Alice and gives her the Jabberwocky tooth, for some reason his name escapes me. But I really hope that the love story between him and Alice picks up, because you know me, I need a love story. And I felt like since this one didn't have a strong love story is why the characters didn't feel as connecting to me. Since I thought that was going to be a love story, and I thought it would have been really cool if the prince that she was engaged to in the real world went to Wonderland with her, and it kind of became like this weird love triangle things, because I also really love love triangles, but that didn't happen. He went away and did his own happy thing. So I thought that that was going to be the direction it took, but it didn't, and I was sad about it. So I hope that the love story between her and Jabberwocky Tooth picks up in Seeing Red. As far as Red goes, I thought that she was a completely awesome villain. She was very realistic, she was very evil, she was very fun, and I really liked her as a villain, and I would have liked to see more about her, maybe even like a novella about her pre-story, because I thought that it would be really interesting to get into her head. And if there's something like that out there, please let me know, because I haven't done any research about it whatsoever, and the series has been out for quite some time. So if there is something like that, please let me know, because I would love to read it. That's really all I have to say. I definitely think that this is going to be one of my favorite reads for the year, and if you don't count the Mortal Instruments or the Infernal Devices, so far it's one of my favorites. And it was part of my Dusty Challenge, which is totally crazy because I've had it on my shelf forever, and I just haven't picked it up, and now I could have missed out on this amazing series. So please don't let that happen to you. Please check it out and see if it's something that you will enjoy, and this chapter was for you.